Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marta, I come from Norway and I love makeup. And today I am doing a video on a relatively new indie brand from Poland called the Dots Cosmetics. And they kindly sent all these products to me in PR, so thank you so much to the brand for sending all the products. And today I'm actually going to focus on the newest collection from them, which is Sweet Treats Nude, which are 10 single nude shadows. The brand is basically doing single shadows in square pans, and they have had 3 different collections as of yet. The first one that they did was this palette, C'est La Vie, which is stunning, stunning, stunning. Oh, I hope you didn't see all the mess on my desk. It looks like this on the inside. It has a lot of colors but also some neutrals, and I found this really beautiful, but I don't think I made a video on it. The second collection that they made was the Sweet Treats collection with these 5 shadows right here, which are reminding me a lot of the Glam Shop Pastel Multichrome shadows. And then the new ones is the Sweet Treats Nudes collection, which are 10 shadows. I have 6 of them in here, my 6 favorite ones from the release, but they have 10 new neutral shadows and they're really beautiful. So I just wanted to do a look with them, show you the swatches. So if you're interested in seeing that, keep on watching. So I'm just going to start off showing you the C'est La Vie palette, and I did end up swatching it with the mattes first, as you can see a little bit here, but I really like this palette. It is so pretty and it's quite a lot of shadow, I think, in each of these single shadows, and you can just rearrange them. You get a pin, or at least I got a pin. I don't know if you have to buy it separately, but you can just punch out these single shadows and switch them up if you want to. And here you can see the matte shadows swatched out, and I have to say the formula is very, very impressive. It is so pigmented and it swatches very nicely, and I feel like it's the same when you use them on the eye, because I have used this palette at least a couple times and you can just see how pigmented these are, and very opaque as well, so I'm very impressed by this formula. It's so nice. Here we have the shimmers from the C'est La Vie palette, and here with a little bit lower light and my phone light coming from the side just to show the sparkles. You have this first one is nearly a multichrome, I would say, because it goes from a pink to gold to green. The second one reminds me a lot of Glam Shop Sweet Temptation. I do like this kind of pink shade, but my favorites are definitely this lighter purple and this deep, more grungy purple with a brown base. They're stunning. So those are the shimmers in the C'est La Vie palette, and I would say the formula is a little bit dry. Nothing crazy, but I would recommend using a glitter glue if you want to have a very impactful shimmer look on the eye. But yeah, they're very beautiful. Here you have the Sweet Treats collection swatched out, and I apologize for the green lighting. It's literally just from the reflections of my dress. But here you can see them. They're very subtle, but they still have a really nice shine to them, as I think you can see. And now my dogs are fighting in the background. But yeah, you can see that they're all duochrome, at least duochrome. I think some of them even have some more shifts, but they're very pretty, but it's not like the formula that I usually reach for. If I do use this kind of formula, it's either as a highlighter, like this shade is such a stunning highlighter, or I use them on my lower lash line for a little bit of shine. But yeah, those are the Sweet Treats shadows that they first released, and now I'm going to show you the new ones. And here you can see the shadows in the palette. I'm first showing you without extra lighting, just so you can see how they look in my regular setup, and then I'm showing you with a little bit of lighting from the side just to show you the sparkles. And these were my 6 favorite ones. They did also have 2 more shimmers and 2 more mattes. And here you can see the shimmers. One of these are a foil shade, which I think is a little bit boring, but it's also very pretty, and I think it would look really beautiful as a blush topper. And the other one is beautiful either as a highlight or just on the lid as a topper shade. And then we have two mattes, and these are, like you can see, one of them is quite dark. It's a little bit warmer, I think, than the one that I have in the palette, and then the other one is more of a light to medium, or more medium toned, I would say, with a bit of pink to it. So those are all the new shadows. I'm just gonna try to make a really glam look, and of course you already saw it in my intro, but I'm gonna start off with the deepest shade here, and I'll probably try to use all of these colors in this palette. And of course this one will be on the outer part of the lid, this will be on the inner part, and I'll just have to see how dark I want to go, because if I don't want to go super dark I can just use a bit more of this instead of this one. But let's just start with this, and the brush I'm using is Glam Shop 022. I did apply my Smashbox primer, and then I used a little bit of one of my Glam Shop correctors. I am getting a bit of fallout, but I did pick up a lot on my brush too. But I'm just gonna make sure that the outer V here is gonna be very deep. So I'm basically just feathering out this shade. I'm also just applying it over here so you can see it when my eye is just open naturally, because I do have hooded eyes, but I want it to be quite deep in the outer corner right here. I'm now taking this shade down here, and I'm using my R102 brush from What's Up Beauty, and I'm just going to overlap this shade with the deepest shade that I already used, and I'll just blend it out, and wow, that is applying really nicely. I'm also just grabbing a purple brush. This one is from the brand Oasis Makeup, and I'm taking that lightest shade and I'm just placing it down in the very inner part of the whole eye, basically, the lid, under the brow. I want it. It's a little bit yellow toned, but I don't mind. So you can see the difference here. It just smooths out and gives a more highlighted effect. And I still want to use the more peachy brown too, but I'll just finish off with the same shade that I just used on this brush on the other eye first. And without wiping off the excess, I'm going to use that peachy shade just here as kind of like a transition between the more vanilla kind of shade and the deeper ones here. I'm now adding a thin layer of the Pixie Epoxy from Fyrinnae Cosmetics, and I'm just gonna spread that all over the lid. I usually just make sure to at least have it in the crease, but now I'm taking a brush. It is the WG4 brush from Stassi Alex, and I'm picking up a lot of this gorgeous gingerbread shade, and I basically want to place this all over here where you can see that I have the deeper mattes layered. Oh, and it has just a stunning green, blue, gold shift. It's really pretty. And I'm also adding it a little bit in a diagonal shape, just because I like that shape and it elongates the eye for me. So I'm placing that down there. And then I'm just gonna use a finger. I like to use my ring finger, and I'm taking that lightest shimmer from the palette. It is very bright and beautiful, and I'm just layering that here on the inner part and slightly blending it upwards. And once I have the shadow layered everywhere where I want it, I'm just gonna tap over where I'm gonna blend the lighter shade to the more deeper shimmer. Something like that. I did tap a little bit high here, so I'm just gonna make sure I blend that into that green shade. And I think I'll also just use the matte brush that I used and just swipe over there. I don't mind the shimmer going quite high though, but I would have liked it to be a little bit lower, but I mean, it's fine. I just think that since I now have it this high, I want to also have it high here. Ooh, that is very sparkly and beautiful. So I'll just finish off the other eye too. And that was the close-up of the look, and personally I absolutely loved using these shadows. I mean, they're neutral, so they should be quite easy to use, but I felt like they blended so well. They're very pigmented, and I kind of feel like with some brands like Glaminatrix too, I just find that they are a little bit more luxe feeling than, for example, Glam Shop. And no shade to Glam Shop, I love them, but it's when the mattes are more silky, they're more dense and opaque, that's when I'm like, oh, these feel really luxe. And as you know, Glam Shop is very they're not very hard pressed, so they're not very dense, they're a bit more powdery. I still love them but these shadows are a little bit more silky, a little bit more smooth almost, and just denser, and I really like how they apply on the eye, and they just give you a really nice result on the eyes. So I hope that you liked the small demo that I did, or the first impression that I did using these shadows. I'd love to hear if you have tried this brand yourself, what you think of them. I'm so excited to see what else they release during this year. I really do hope that they come out with a lot more muted, colorful shadows and sparkly shadows. That would be like something that excites me a lot, but I think that they have a very solid base now with their shadows, and I think it's exciting to see more indie brands doing single shadows, because I love that. So my only wish would have been that they had the 26mm round pans, but I don't mind just using these within the few palettes that I have from them. So I would love to see them come out with even more colors so that I can make more custom color stories just with those shadows too. Anyway, I think that's it for this video. Again, thank you so much to the Dots Cosmetics for sending me all of these shadows. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you found this video helpful, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!